Hey ratbags, it's Jade. Yesterday I gave you the lowdown and said that there's so many survival games releasing in 2025, and particularly February was going to be a packed month with 1.0 updates for Sons of the Forest, Nightingale and Pacific Drive, as a whole host of other potential games releasing updates or actually coming out. And it gets even more busy. We're going to cover some of the other releases that are scheduled to happen between January and March next year, and a lowdown what's currently happening with games like The Day Before and Medieval Dynasty. So let's go, we're back baby, it's the survival show. Planetcrafter has got a huge announcement. It's going to be adding co-op multiplayer. This is coming at the start of 2024. I didn't really gel this game when it first came out. I found it quite boring. I liked the premise a little bit. I like the idea it could be almost like Subnautica on land, and it seemed to be a bit more chill, but it just wasn't for me without that action. Then fast forward about a year nearly, and my gosh, I really started to get into it. I gave it another shot and I streamed it on my now Arc Ascended channel, which was originally the Arc 100 Days channel. And yeah, it just blew my mind a little bit. There was just so much content, and so now they're adding multiplayer to it, co-op. That is a big maneuver, and I'm really pleased to see it. I'm definitely going to be hitting this with hopefully some ratbags next year. On to modern day New York, and it looks like the game that we've all assumed was some sort of bait, some sort of scam, is actually maybe going to release for sure on the 7th of December. The Day Before has been highlighting its hideout, a huge billboard and a massive poster in Times Square, and obviously the game is set kind of in and around that area. It looks to be the real deal. It's actually coming the day before, December the 7th, early access. Bellwright is a game that I've been kind of warning you guys to stay away from, as it's made by the same people that made Last Oasis. It's also published by Snail Games, the owners of Ark, and a slew of other games that never got completed. It's rare for me to do this really, but the Last Oasis game was left in tatters, hasn't been updated properly in a good 9 or 10 months. As pretty much the whole team moved on to this, leaving that game in the hands of just some modders, and it's still in early access. They didn't communicate very well during this period, didn't explain why they moved on to something very different, but somehow this game is gaining a lot of traction. I've seen a lot of wish lists for it, and a lot of other survival channels and YouTubers are saying that it could be decent. They showed off their latest trailer at the PC gaming show Hot Most Wanted, and a change release date. It was meant to come out in December, it's now targeting Q1 next year. It's a busy time, as I pointed out yesterday. I hope this one gets buried. Moving on to a medieval game you should maybe try getting behind and supporting, Robin Hood Sherwood Builders. I played a demo of this a good while ago and it's come on leaps and bounds. If you like the idea of an Assassin's Creed in medieval times, then yeah, maybe if you look squintedly through the lens, you might just about get that. I don't think they've ever had a definitive release date, but it was tentatively the end of 2023. Well, now they are also launching at the start of 2024. It is a single player game, but it's definitely got a much better vibe, and I've got to say, from the progress they've been making, I want to support game developers like this rather than Donkey Crew. They've had umpteenth demos available for people to try the game, they've been improving and adding, they've got boss fights, and they're showing off the increased difficulty, enhancing and making basically fights even harder. The enemies will attack you quicker, your stamina might run out more if you choose some of the more difficult settings. It's not going to be maybe as polished as an Ubisoft title, but it's definitely showing promise, and I can't wait to dive into this and hopefully relive my fantasy that I used to have as a kid of being Robin Hood. No definitive date yet, but we're expecting it then obviously between January and March next year. And then on to a game that I don't think I'm necessarily going to get behind, but hey, if you like the idea of being a vampire, but also maybe being a farmer or city builder, then this game could be for you. Yes, it's another Dynasty title, and it is Vampire Dynasty. There's something a bit odd about the vampire lord actually building his own castle. I swear he's got mind control powers for that. It does feel like a very quick attempt to cash in on the V Rising success. Let's make that game, but let's make it third person, and you know what, if it floats people's boats, why not? It does look a bit clunky, definitely feels a bit more RPG like, but it does seem to have all the kind of trademarks that the Dynasty series is famous for: building, outfitting your castle, and maybe this time a little bit more of a focus on combat. You can transform into other creatures, and it is going to be a 4-player co-op entry this time. Wild West Dynasty was a bit of a flop, Sengoku Dynasty was doing okay, Has this got a place in the survival world? We'll have to wait and find out. It's just been announced this week, and yeah, won't be coming at least until maybe the end or maybe even the middle of next year. Of course, Toplitz, they are pretty busy as co-op is about to launch for Medieval Dynasty and a brand new map. I remember criticising them when they said they couldn't change their lead character as it would affect the story too much, but it looks like they have found a way around it now to offer players the chance to be a woman if they want, as well as create their own character. Again, it's going to be a busy week next week. The Oxbow map and obviously co-op is going live, I do believe, on the 7th of December. It will only be on Steam though to launch. It won't be hitting actual consoles until at some point next year. You can go and check out some of the brand new update as they've just put a live stream up on their Steam page showing you some of the character customization, and I'm sure a lot more. It's honestly crazy. I know not everyone's going to be playing these games, a lot of them are PC centric, or you just simply won't have time to devote given how many of the bigger hitters are launching. It's a good thing I've got 3 separate survival channels to cover all this. Right, if you don't know, I have JPG Ascended. It's where I cover everything to do with Ark Survival Evolved and obviously its sequels or remasters. JPG Crafted for the more chill games, and I'll probably actually do some Planetcrafter on there. And everything else here, as always, the home of survival. Until next time, ratbags, I'll catch you later.